Hello, friends. Those back pages here. I hope you're well. Well, it's October now, and Octobers and myself don't really have a very good past. But here we are. Collecting is my, not only, is my hobby, but it's also a nice escape from real life. So, for tonight's episode, I'm going to showcase a player that I still feel is underappreciated, both inside of the hobby and outside of the hobby. The player is featured there in front of you, and it is Hank Aaron, Henry Aaron. We lost him earlier this year, and for more years than I can count, I said there's no wrong time to buy an Aaron rookie. I still think that applies, but now it's going to be quite a bit more costly than it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. So, and the card you see in front of you is from the 1957 Topps set World Series batting foes, where Hank Aaron's Milwaukee Braves defeated the New York Yankees and Mickey Mantle. And that wound up being Hank Aaron's only ring, championship win, World Series win ring. And I think that, at least in the hobby for baseball, rings are somewhat overrated. They're nice, but there's so much more to baseball than rings, because it's not an individual sport. As much as player whoever is great, he's one of 9 hitters. One person on the field cannot single-handedly win. And I haven't looked at my Hank Aaron collection, my slab collection, in quite some time. And I was talking actually to a couple friends about Aaron in general and the rookie, and a friend of mine reached out for some advice, and I'm always glad to give my input, my advice, whatever, however you want to phrase it, whenever I can and however I can. So, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I've got a few piles here, and I guess I could have rotated them out, but here we are. I guess I could do it that way. Flip the slabs over. Nice. Flip the slabs over and then just reveal them. Well, not right. I guess reveal is the right word, but here we go. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be collecting. If you're new here, I've been collecting for a very long time. And back in the day, 2 years ago. But seriously now, going on 16 years collecting slabs. So I've seen lots of companies come and go over the years. I like to stick to the basics. I prefer PSA, but I buy the other 2 companies as well. Now 3, with CSG in the fold. But here we go. This is from 1976 Topps Record Breaker, card number 1 in the set. Most runs batted in lifetime. This record still stands. It's not debatable. He still has more RBI than anybody. Here's a 75 Topps Most Valuable Players. Oh, there we go. Both from 57. Matching the World Series card with their individual base cards. I have two of those. What grade was this one? No, both 7s. Here's the 75 Topps Mini card number 1. Hank Aaron sets homer mark. Some believe he still is the all-time home run king. We can debate that another time. Here's the regular version, 75 Topps card number 1, 74 highlights in a 7. And that's the beauty of the PSA. You have to look. The mini was a 6. And you don't know. Here's a 74 Topps All-Stars with Dick Allen. Here's a SGC 74 Topps Hank Aaron special. They did a Topps and O-Pee-Chee did a commemorative showing each of his base cards. This was from 74. They did it again in 86 for Pete Rose for his collection. Here's from 58 to 61. This was 70 to 73. Let me adjust the camera a little bit there. I did pick up this copy of Revolver at my one of my many local record shops. This is the first pressing of the mono release, and it was, let's see if I can zoom in there, $7.99. So yes, that was $7.99 for a first pressing mono copy. Wow, very, very happy to add that to the new record collection, which you guys are not very interested in, and that's fine. 72 Topps home run leaders with Stargell and Lee May in an SGC 6. Just I think there's a lot of collectability in these. Here's the RBI leaders with Joe Torre and Willie Stargell. I think there's a lot of collectability in these league leaders and World Series batting foes and all-star cards for these legends. I have to admit that I don't follow the aftermarket prices on most stuff. When I am fortunate enough to add something to my collection, I tend to move on to the next item. Here's a 68 Topps All-Star. Here's a 68 Topps with the 67 Topps home run leader of Topps. 67 National League's home run leaders with Santo, McCovey, Wynn, and Hank Aaron. So there's 3 Hall of Famers on that card. Here's the 67 Topps featuring the 66 home run leaders with Dick Allen and Willie Mays as well. So they, 2 Hall of Famers should be 3. This is another great one from 67 Topps with Clemente and Allen, RBI leaders. So you've got a card with Aaron and Clemente on it. Here's a great one from 66 Topps. It has the 65 batting leaders with Clemente, Aaron, and Mays on it. That is just a fantastic card. So much so that I have 2 of them. With a crack, that one's cracked there. Thanks, PSA. Let's see. We got another stack here. So they're getting older for the most part as we continue. Here's a 65 Topps league leaders, batting leaders, with Rico Cordy and Clemente. That's just, I mean, you want to collect Clemente, you want to collect Aaron. There are very, 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 very many options. Here we have a 64 Topps home run leaders, National League, with 4 Hall of Famers on it. Aaron, McCovey, Mays, and Orlando Cepeda. Again, it's a real card. RBI leaders from National League with Aaron, Ken Boyer, and Bill White. Batting leaders, Tommy Davis, Clemente, Dick Groat, and Hank Aaron. You know, and these subset cards have pretty much been released every year. Here's a 62 All-Star Hank Aaron in a SGC 5.5. Semi-high number for the All-Stars that year. 61 Topps Hank Aaron, that's a high number. 577. Here's the 61 Topps MVP card with a really nice blue background. You know, I think I again, you know, don't hold me to it, but I think a lot of these subset cards are, you know, I guess cheap, depending on what we define as cheap anymore. But Baseball Thrills, pretty sure that's Yogi from 59 Topps. Here's a Fence Busters from 59 Topps with Eddie Matthews, who's criminally underrated right now and forgotten almost. And you see a lot of, you know, when Wander Franco was doing really well with his streak and stuff. Youngest player under yada yada yada. You saw a lot of, you saw Eddie Matthews' name on a lot of those lists. There's another Fence Busters. 58 Topps All-Star. First year they made All-Star cards. Topps did. Here's a great one. 58 Topps Braves Fence Busters with Matthews, Aaron, Adcock, and Crandell. Just a great photo. Alright, we're into the base cards now. Not the subset cards anymore. So here's his 75 Topps Mini. It's base 75 Topps. Very difficult card with centering. You know, at the point when I was buying these, it was about getting the cards into the collection and not worried about centering or any of that stuff. Here's one of the best cards that Topps has ever made. You got to remember when this card came out in 1974, you know, as the season was starting up, you know, he hadn't broken the record yet. But there we go, all new all-time home run king. So, you know, if he hadn't played in 74 and not broken the record, that would have been interesting. 73 Topps. I've always actually liked this image. He was playing first base by then. Catching a routine pop-up. Nice centering on that one. No subs, it's a middle of the road BVG. 72 Topps. Another tough one on centering. But again, sometimes you just want to own the card. 71 Topps. Now, you know, people's opinions on SGC vary. And never mind that they put rookie on the flip, and whoever owned this before me crossed that out with a pen, but the black border cards tend to get lost in the gasket. 70 tops. Not a particularly awesome photo, but out of the ordinary. 69 tops. All right. Now we get into some more 68 tops. A lot of these images look the same. Thanks, Topps, reusing the image right there, one year after the other. 67 Topps. I've always liked this one. I picture it Shea. Just a great looking card. 66 Topps. Now this is a high number, number 500. You know, we can go over the high number of the series, stuff like that at another time. This is not an easy card because it's number 500. 65, number 170. You know, these 65s and centering are just, even, I feel like they screwed up the heritage on purpose. 64, card number 300, so it's a middle of the road. Now I don't have, and I had forgotten, I remember I talked about this last time I did one of these Aaron videos. I don't have a 63 or a 62, and maybe it's time to rectify that. We'll see. I mean, I have not really been paying attention to the Aaron market, but I'm sure it's up from years ago. It's got to be, everything is, right? Here's the 61 Topps, 415, so that's a semi number. $60 Topps, card number 300. $59 Topps. You know, a lot. You know, just this week I did a podcast with Mike, baseball collector, and we were talking about vintage and PSA and grading and everything. Feel free to go and check out his channel. Give that podcast a listen. It was fun. It was with Andy. She binded me with refractors, and Mike and myself. We talked actually quite a bit about this card, and there we go, Mike. I also have a 5 that I had. I knew I had one. I forgot the grade. It's a very old flip. I've had that a very long time. Yours is 58. Now this is the base one with the white letters in his first name. There's an error that his name is in yellow. I think that's quite a bit more than this. Alright, 57. Reverse negative. He's not a left-handed hitter, never was. Kind of gets lost because of the Milwaukee M is kind of indistinguishable on that. But, you know, it was not corrected. They all look like this. And, you know, from the same set, 58 Topps. I'm sorry, 57 Topps. This one is from 58. You know, it kind of commemorates that. But in 57 was the first year that Topps used the traditional card size that we know today. And it's been, the card dimensions have been, for the flagship release, that size every year. Here's a 56 grayback. So this is his third year card. This is a very, very nice presenting 3. You can see the card stock, the card size difference in dimensions. You can pretty much see the 56 behind the 57. but you know, another uncorrected. That's actually Willie Mays sliding in the home. I mean, it's not identified as Willie Mays, but anyone, you know, if you've seen Willie Mays slide before, you know that's him. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful looking card. Here's another copy. This is the white back in a SGC3. I've had this one a very long time. The centering is not very good, but you can see the cardstock is different. I'm not sure which I think the lighter one is rarer. I can't remember at this time, but you know, the fronts look identical, and the backs just have different print stock. Honestly, I forget the reason, but I mean, the mantle has a 56 mantle, has a white back and a gray back as well. I'm just happy to have those in the collection, you know. 30-year card, pretty good. Okay, next up is 55 Topps. And this is a card I've talked about on multiple platforms, social media. And this is a signed grade of a PSA 2, but it's because there's some very faint paper loss in the 4, and over here somewhere there's some glue residue, like someone had it in an album and then removed it from the album. I mean, this card is just, you know, it's in without the paper loss and the glue residue. This is a 6 or a 7. It's definitely a 7. I mean, the centering is fantastic. I've had this card for 10 years. Probably about 10 years. And the thing about this card is, in a 2, when I bought this card, PSA 2 is the VCP, Vintage Card Pricing, the website that keeps track of sales. The VCP for PSA 2, when I bought this, was about $65 in a 2. And I bought this as a buy it now. I paid $125 for it when the price, the going price, was $65, just because it looked like this. It didn't, you know, this one here is a technical grade of a 3. This 56, and, you know, it's never mind that they've used this image from 55, 54, 55, and 56. They use this profile headshot. But again, when I saw this listed, it was, you know, buy it now, no best offer. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna hit the buy it now, because look at this card. You're not gonna find another 2. Well, you might, but it's gonna be a lot of work to find another 2 like this. And you know, this was 10 years ago, when low grades, you know, collector grade and vintage is like a 5, I suppose. That's debatable depending on the card. But there was no turning that one. I had to get that one. Alright. So, if you're fairly competent at math, you'll see, you know what's coming up next. I am, since I'm documenting this and getting it out there again, it's nice to have on the record, you know, to look at anytime, myself or anyone else. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to have 3 Hank Aaron rookies in my collection. And I'm just going to go over them each, because there's a story behind each. And I'm going to try to get the details on here on video. And I'm just going to put this away just because, why not? Alright, the first Hank Aaron I bought was 10 years ago, 2011 National. And, you know, I did a lot of personal heavy lifting at the 2011 National, sorry. And for me personally, I like to do my heavy lifting in person. And everyone's definition of heavy lifting varies. Your mileage may vary depending on what your budget is, what you're comfortable spending. You know, that's a topic for another time. But, you know, I went ahead and I picked this up at the 2011 show, and it was $300. It's a PSA 3. You know, that was the going price at the time. It wasn't a steal. It wasn't, you know, overpriced. It was the going rate. I mean, it's not the best. It presents better here on this video, and in this, I don't know if it's going to make any difference taking it out. This crappy. That does, actually. You know, it's got a crease running. It's got a crease. Where is my letter opener? That's older than most of you. There it is. Alright, it's got a crease running down right there through the helmet, through the brim of the hat. You know, it presents well. I had it re-slabbed a few years ago. It looks a lot better in this, you know, lighthouse. It's accurately graded. It's not, you know, it's nothing. It's a Hank Aaron rookie at the end of the day. But yeah, so that was the first Hank Aaron rookie that I was able to add to the collection. And you know, I was happy I had Hank Aaron rookie in my collection, as anyone who has one in their collection should be absolutely pleased, as you know, pleased as punch, or however the saying goes. But because you have one, that's what matters more than the assigned grade. You know, we can get into the semantics if we're all graded or whatever another time. So I want to say it was the 2014 National in Cleveland, or it might have been 15, and oh man, everything starts to blur together as you get older. Anyway, it was at the National one year that this 5 was for sale. It's a beautiful 5. There is that will not pick up on camera. There is a crease, you know, wrinkle, not even a crease in the cartoon. I'm even having trouble picking it up here. But I mean, it is a beautiful copy. As I said, it's a PSA 5. And the story behind this one is it was at the, I'm pretty sure it was the 14, or again, I apologize, but you know, I think the seller had it out for $1,100, which was the going rate at the time. And you know, a dear friend of mine who I've spoken about on the channel before, he's featured on one of the cards that PSA gave away over the years. He found this, and he offered the guy $1,000 cash. The guy said, I can do $1,050. I can't do $1,000. Do $1,050. So this particular friend is a bit frugal, and he said, no, I can do $1,000. I can't do $1,050. Dealer said, no deal. At that point, he knows that I love Hank Aaron, and he said, you got to take a look at this. So I went over there and I took a look at it and was like, man, it's a great looking copy. I mean, it's a great looking 5. And he's like, oh, the guy wants 1050. He won't take 1,000. It's like, I said, just give him the 1050. You know, you're not gonna let this go over $50. He walked away. He said, no, I'm gonna pass. So I said, are you sure? Because if you pass, I'm gonna buy this, and I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want you to feel like I'm taking you out from under you, because that's not what friends do. I tell you again, you don't buy this for $10.50, I'm gonna buy it. Sure enough, he said, no, I'm good. So this was off, away from the dealer. So I went back to the dealer. I said, let me see that, Aaron. Takes it out. I said, would you do 1,000? He said, no, 1050. Just like for your friend. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm gonna take it. So I gave him the money. And this is not a card I could ever pony up for now. Well, I guess technically anyone could, but my own personal collecting taste, I would not. So that's the story of Hank Aaron number 2. And then, so later that summer, the same summer I got the 5. Here's a PSA 2 that was on eBay. It was at an auction. So I set a snipe. I was watching it. It presents well. It's got some corner issue right there. You can see quite easily in the upper left there. But it presents very well. The centering is very good. So, I set a snipe for, I want to say $450. Maybe $475. Somewhere, I can't remember exactly, but it's like, all right, I'm going to set the snipe. Whatever. It's not going to win. Sure enough, it won. So, I was like, all right, well, it presents really well for 2. When you pay. When you win, you pay. So I paid, came in, very happy with it. It actually is a lot nicer looking than the first one I got. So it's in person especially, it's just a better looking. The colors are, I put the sleeves back on, but it's the same sleeve. But the colors are brighter. The centering is better. There's no, that's got the crease through the brim of the hat. Now, what I really like about, when you're picking out this card is, for me personally, the centering is important. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this 5 could be a little bit better centered, but to me, the main thing with this card is because of the 54 tops, there's no top border, so it looks screwed up anyway, right off the bat, because there's no top. There's 3 sides of border and then nothing on the top. That's the design. But the thing I look for is the cleanness of his face and the hat. Because this is a 54 tops, it's very prone for snow or scuffing or rub, however you want to describe it, with affecting the picture of the card. To me, that's the main thing. The main importance of this card is his face and his hat. If there are no marks on his face and his hat, the lower the grade, the better, because you're saving yourself money, especially back then. So the face and the hat, now that goes for a lot of my vintage. Like, personally, like I've shown other cards before. We're going to stick with Aaron on this one. the centering is important on most issues, but how does the visual presentation of the player's face, or if it's a, if it's a full body shot, how does, there are no main creases through the, like, whatever your eye looks at first on a card. You want to make sure that, this, like, alright, this two obviously has paper missing on this corner, and there's no way around that. But when you pick up this card and you look at it, for me personally, this is the first thing I look at is the face. Just because, like a 58 mana, I don't own one, but if you know what a 58 mana looks like, it's got so much, it's even zoomed in more on his face. It says his face is prone to scuffing and snow, and the hat, especially the Yankee blue hat, is very prevalent in the centering. 58 Topps is very notorious for crappy centering. So even back in the day, I was never able to find a satisfactory to me copy of a 58 Topps mantle, just because of the price points that mantle are. Even back then, mantle's always been the most expensive, post-war player. So when you're looking at a vintage card, I like to throw out the assigned value. In fact, if you could sell me something that looks like this in a 1, especially back in the day, please do, because you're gonna save a bunch of money because the assigned grade is lower. So I want to wrap up. I want to say that I appreciate you spending your time with me. That the song that ends this album is one of my favorite songs. It's called Tomorrow Never Knows. So yes, it's very appropriate for the hobby. Tomorrow never knows. You never know what's going to happen with the players that are active. In fact, in the next video, the next episode that I put out, I'm going to talk about a young player that's very active right now. In this coming winter, when the new flagship set is released, he's going to be featured on his 5th flagship card. He'll turn 23 years of age later this month. And I think there's a card that needs to be in your collection. Actually 2. And I will go over those next time. But this time is all about Hank Aaron. Please do yourself a favor. Get, obviously the rookie is very expensive now. Get yourself some Hank Aaron in your collection. If you're thinking about it, like I just showed you, there are all types of different years, different cards, different with multiplayers on it, all-star game cards. You can do this. Have a Hank Aaron in your collection. Be proud of it. Be proud of your collection. I really, I'm sorry that I suck at these outros, but I need to come up with something as an outro. But thank you very much for your time, and as always, be kind.